Okay, so you know how organizations are always trying to figure out how to manage their people, right? Like
Mm.
hiring new employees and then making sure they're happy and helping them grow and all that.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that whole process is being totally transformed by some really advanced tools these days, and they're all powered by AI. So
Ultimately.
it's not just some back office HR function anymore.
Right.
These changes actually affect everyone in the workforce, including you. So let's dive into it.
That's exactly what we're doing today. We're going deep on AI-driven talent management. And our mission is to basically extract the most important insights from all the research and stuff we've been looking at
Right.
and make sure you really understand how AI is changing how companies find and keep and develop their employees.
Exactly. And we're going to look at three key areas to do that.
Okay.
So first, we're going to look at talent acquisition and how AI is like revolutionizing the way companies find new people.
Right.
Then we're going to examine retention. And you know how AI insights are helping organizations keep the best people happy and engaged. And then finally, we'll explore upskilling. And that's basically the role that AI plays in helping people learn the skills they need to stay competitive in the job market. So let's start with how companies are actually finding new people to hire. What's changing?
Well, for a long time, finding the right person for a job basically meant that recruiters had to go through tons and tons of resumes, right?
Yeah,
But AI is changing all of that.
I bet.
It's brought in a whole new level of efficiency and precision to talent acquisition.
So like applicant tracking systems, or what is it, ATS?
Right, yes.
Those aren't just, simple digital filing systems anymore. I mean, they're powered by AI now.
Exactly. AI that can look at a huge number of applications like really quickly.
Yeah.
And it goes way beyond just like looking for keywords.
Yeah.
Some AI even uses natural language processing. So it can tell the difference between someone who led a project team versus someone who just attended some meetings, even if they both use kind of similar words on their resume.
Wow. It's getting really smart.
It is. It's getting very sophisticated.
Right.
So, this obviously saves recruiters a ton of time and effort.
Yeah.
And it means they can actually spend their time talking to the most promising candidates.
Makes sense. So it's freeing them up to actually do the human interaction stuff.
Exactly.
So what about AI actually finding those candidates in the first place?
Well, that's where AI-driven sourcing tools come in.
I see.
Platforms like LinkedIn, for example, they use machine learning to look at all the data they have, all the profiles and what people are doing.
Right.
And they can actually identify people who might be perfect for a job, even if those people aren't even looking for a new job.
Really?
Like basically they're tapping into a hidden pool of talent based on people's digital footprint, you could say.
So it's kind of like those people who are happy where they are, but maybe they'd be open to something new if it was the perfect opportunity.
Right, exactly. And for organizations, this means they can potentially build a much more diverse and skilled pool of candidates.
It's like opening up a whole new world of possibilities.
It is. And this proactive approach is much more strategic.
Right.
It lets companies actually go after people with the exact skills they need for future growth.
That makes a lot of sense. So we've talked about how AI is making it easier to find great people, but then there's the whole issue of keeping them right.
Oh, absolutely.
Losing good employees can cost a company a lot of money. I mean, there's the whole cost of recruiting new people, and then there's all the lost productivity and everything else.
Right. All the institutional knowledge you lose and the time it takes to get someone up to speed.
Right. So what can AI do to help companies hang on to their best people?
Well, now we have these really cool AI analytics tools that can help predict which employees might be thinking about leaving the company.
Wow, predicting who might leave. That sounds pretty futuristic. So how do they actually do that?
Well, they look at a ton of different data.
Like what?
Well, think about things like employee engagement surveys, for example. AI can actually use natural language processing to figure out how people really feel.
I see.
And see if there are patterns in their responses that might indicate dissatisfaction or even, burnout.
And then what about their actual work performance?
Oh, yeah. The AI analyzes that too. So it looks for things like dips in performance or maybe someone just not taking advantage of opportunities for growth and development.
So like maybe someone who used to be really gung-ho about taking on new projects, but now they just seem kind of checked out.
Exactly.
Interesting. And what about all the ways we communicate at work these days, like email and chat and all that?
Yep. The AI looks at that too. It can analyze communication patterns and, someone's overall work habits. Like how often are they communicating with colleagues? Are they still contributing to team discussions? All these things can offer subtle clues about whether someone might be disengaged.
Wow, so the AI is like this super sleuth looking for all these hidden signs.
It is, and it's looking for correlations and anomalies in all this data that might suggest someone is thinking about leaving.
So if I'm like an HR professional, what would I actually see?
Okay, so imagine an HR dashboard,
Okay.
and let's say the AI highlights one particular employee's profile. Now, the AI might be flagging this person because of a few different things combined.
Okay.
Maybe they've had consistently lower scores on those engagement surveys we talked about.
Okay.
Or maybe there's been a noticeable drop in how much they're contributing to important projects.
Yeah.
Or maybe the AI has picked up on a change in their normal work patterns, like maybe they're not participating in team discussions as much as they used to.
Right. So it's not necessarily a guarantee that they're going to quit, but it's like a red flag.
It's a warning sign, yeah.
So what happens next? Does the AI like automatically send them a goodbye email or something?
No, not at all.
Okay.
The real value here is that it gives managers and HR a chance to step in and do something before it's too late.
I see.
So armed with these insights, they can reach out to the employee
Right.
and just have a conversation. Really try to understand what's going on. Maybe they're feeling like they're not being challenged enough.
Or maybe they feel overwhelmed.
Exactly. Or maybe there are some opportunities for growth and development they just haven't heard about yet.
So the AI is kind of like an early warning system.
Right. It lets managers address the situation before it turns into a bigger problem.
And that's where those good old-fashioned human skills come in.
But exactly. Empathy and communication and all that.
Okay, so what are some specific actions a company might take based on what the AI is telling them?
Well, it really depends on the situation,
Yeah,
right?
right.
But it could be anything from offering more flexible work arrangements to, helping them identify potential career advancement opportunities, or maybe providing some targeted training, or even just giving them more recognition for all their hard work.
So it's all about using data to create a work environment where people actually want to stay because they feel valued.
Right, exactly.
And they see opportunities to grow.
That's the idea.
So it's not just about, putting out fires and stopping people from leaving. It's more about being proactive and creating a place where people want to be.
Exactly. And this kind of naturally leads us into our last topic, which is upskilling.
Right, because the world is changing so fast that everyone needs to keep learning and developing new skills.
That's right. It's not really optional anymore. It's essential for anyone who wants to have a successful career.
Okay, so how is AI helping people do that?
Well, AI-powered learning platforms are kind of revolutionizing the whole professional development thing.
Okay.
You've probably heard of platforms like Coursera and Degreed and Edcast.
Yeah, I've seen those advertised.
Yeah, well, these platforms are going way beyond just offering courses. They're using AI to actually create personalized learning experiences for each employee.
Personalized learning, huh? That sounds pretty cool.
It is. And the AI figures out what skills each employee needs to work on.
How does it do that?
Well, it starts by assessing their current skills.
Okay.
And then it compares that to what they need for their current role, or even what the organization is going to need in the future.
Right.
And the AI analyzes all sorts of things, their existing skills, their career goals, and even the company's overall strategic direction.
So the AI is kind of like their personal career coach in a way.
It is.
Helping them figure out the best path to take.
Exactly. And based on all that analysis, the platform recommends specific learning resources.
Like what kind of resources?
Well, it could be anything from online courses and certifications to internal training programs or even mentorship opportunities. It really depends on the individual's needs and the company's objectives.
So it's not like everyone has to take the same generic training course anymore.
Right, exactly. It's all about tailoring the learning experience to what each person needs.
Which makes a lot of sense.
And this personalized approach is way more efficient than those old one-size-fits-all training programs.
For sure, but it sounds like this is about more than just helping individual employees, right?
Oh, definitely. It's really about aligning individual development with the organization's overall strategy.
Okay.
So the AI helps make sure that the skills people are developing are the ones that are actually going to be important for the company's success in the future.
That's smart.
And it also means that companies are less reliant on hiring new people every time a new skill becomes important.
That's like they're building their own talent pipeline from within.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot of ground today, but I think the main takeaway is that AI is really transforming how companies think about their people.
I think that's a great way to put it.
We've talked about how AI is changing how companies find new talent and how they keep their best people from leaving,
Yeah.
and then how they help everyone learn and grow. It's a pretty big shift.
Definitely.
And I think what's really interesting is that it's all being driven by data, so it's not just based on intuition or gut feeling anymore.
Yeah, it's much more strategic.
But of course, technology is only part of the story, right?
Right. It's not just about buying some fancy new software and hoping for the best.
It's about using it effectively.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And integrating it into the overall talent strategy.
Right.
And you still need good leadership and, human judgment.
Couldn't agree more. So as we wrap up here, I want you to think about how all these changes might affect your own career. You know what kind of skills are going to be really important in your field in the future.
Right.
And how can you take advantage of these new AI-powered learning platforms to stay ahead of the curve?
Good questions.
It's definitely something to think about because the world of work is changing fast. And it's only going to get more interesting from here.
I think you're right.